All right. I think that we are live. I'm going to give this just a second. I always like to double check because I feel like I never know if we're actually for real live. We're definitely live. We're definitely live. All right. My name is Melissa Collins. You may not know that if you're not watching this on my profile. This has been shared about 300 times. So we are all over the place today. I am a leader at a company called Life Activated Brands. And today we are having a flash sale on one of our brands called LIVology. So we're here to quickly explain what LIVology is, why it's important, why you may want it. And so we're going to try and get this done in 20 minutes and not waste a bunch of everybody's time. I'm here with my friend and another leader in the company, Delilah Lodick, which I'm like a professional at saying her name now. So I just want to point that out. And Delilah is a naturopathic doctor. I'm saying that right?
Correct.
So she's a naturopathic doctor. She's super smart. She knows all things holistic health. Basically, Delilah is my litmus test for if I should consume things. I'm like, Delilah, should I take this? She says yes. And then I take it. And I have that level of trust. When you're done hearing her, you'll have that level of trust. So thank you so much, Delilah, for being here. We appreciate you. And what I really would love you to talk about first before we get into some customer testimonies, because we've got a bunch of customers backstage that want to come tell us about their experience with LIVology. I would love it if you would first explain to people why gut health should matter to them.
Sure. Thanks for having me. Excited to. Gut health is everything. So I studied it extensively in school. I wrote one of my dissertations on it. And it wasn't a thing back then. Like, you really didn't hear about it. It's starting to become trendy, but there's a really good reason for it. And it's because your microbiome, which is the word that encompasses everything in the gut, controls everything. Is where you house a big part of your immune system. It also has a big influence on hormones and mental health, your emotions. We have this thing. I'm not going to get too sciencey, but this is important. We have a thing called the vagus nerve, and it connects from the brain directly to, it sends messages through there directly to your gut, to your stomach. And this is why, if you have anxiety, or if you have depression, or if you have any other type of emotional issues or mental challenges, one of the first things a holistic practitioner will do is work on your gut. The first thing I do with all my clients is say, let's do some diagnostics. Let's check out your gut health. Especially, this is the thing, the last couple of years have been really, really crazy. Okay. So the first thing I would do with my clients is check their gut health. And I would say 7 out of 10, we needed to address that immediately. Now, after the stress of the last few years, 10 out of 10, 100% have some type of issues in the gut that we have to start to work on and just address. And there's a lot of ways to do that. But the first way we do it is through nutrition.
Well, I'm glad you said about the vagus nerve, because I think that when people hear gut health, they're like, well, I go to the bathroom regularly, or I don't get indigestion, and they think that that's what I'm saying. Most people, when I say most people, I'm saying me. Okay. So I'm not, no shame here, guys. Like, I'm the same way. And so I'm glad that you explained that, because I had heard that a little bit in the past, and I've heard like the gut is the brain of your body. It's helping regulate every other system. So essentially, if things are going wrong in other systems and your gut isn't in check, you're going to have a really hard time getting that fixed. Is that right?
That's correct. It's almost impossible if you don't address the microbiome and gut health. A lot of people at this point, just today, suffer from something called leaky gut, and it just basically means that our gut has been worn down. The gut lining has been worn down over time from environment, toxins in the food, toxins in the air. And so when the lining is supposed to just kind of seal the gut off. The microbiome is called your second brain for a reason, because it's that important. And so the lining is supposed to seal it off and protect it. But as that lining starts to wear down, toxins start to permeate in and out. And so those toxins get out into your bloodstream, which then makes it impossible to address something even as simple as high cholesterol, because while you're trying to fight that, there's new toxins coming into the bloodstream on a daily basis. So until we address that area of the microbiome, of the gut lining and all of that, you really can't work on much else. It's just an uphill battle.
That's awesome. So we're going to grab somebody and let them give a testimony, but I just want to preface this with, you're going to hear people say all different things. And that's a really great explanation as to why. So when people are like, oh, you people think LIVology Max fixes everything. Well, no, we don't. But the reason why we have so many varied testimonies, and the reason why LIVology Max is not a weight loss system, but weight loss can be a side effect. Absolutely. All right, let me grab Nikki Spear. Hi, Nikki. You're muted, babe.
Okay. Good morning now.
All right, so give us your quick testimony. How has LIVology Max impacted you? And I know it's impacted your husband as well.
Yeah. So my husband, of course, he's one of those, it's not a weight loss system, but he's lost like 30 pounds. It's ridiculous. Most of his weight was centered in his gut. So he's been taking our system since September, and he's noticed a big change with his lab values that were out of whack, with obviously his gut health as well. For me personally, I had a hysterectomy back at the end of August. And the thing that I noticed the most with is that my mood has been regulated. Like, I don't have to do like traditional like hormone therapy, taking the pill that, everybody takes post-op. I don't do that. So it's regulating my hormones. It's made a big difference on my actual gut, because after I got past the age of like 35, I noticed that I was getting the nice, spare tire that everybody gets. So that's been the biggest thing, that it's helped to take away my gut. And, like I said, I'm more regular now. Awesome. It's been a huge thing.
Great. Well, thanks for coming and talking to us. I appreciate you, Nikki.
Thanks.
All right, Delilah. So the first product in our LIVology line is Activate. I don't know if people can see that or not. Activate, and on the front it says Activate and Tropics. I had never heard the word nootropics before, and I think I'm not alone in that. I think there's a lot of people that have never heard the word nootropics. So I guess, can you tell us a little bit about the Activate product and also explain what nootropics means?
Yeah. Sorry, my headphones weren't working. So can you hear me good?
Yeah.
Took them out. Okay. And I'll just start by saying that I love the full system. I love it. I love that we just get this whole kit. But then, like, looking at each product individually, they're all so impressive, and they really are standalone products. And that was one of the things I love about it, because each one does its own job to help the gut. But even individually, they work amazing, and then they just have a synergistic effect where one boosts the efficacy of the other, which boosts the efficacy of the other, and then you have this whole system. So with the Activate, it does have those nootropics in there, and they help support, the mushrooms are the big thing, right? They're medicinal mushrooms. They help support brain function. They have a lot of jobs in the body beyond just the gut. But like we were saying before, the gut causes so many other symptoms that by addressing them in the gut, you start to see changes in your entire body. It all supports that mind-body connection. And you want to focus on that when you're doing any type of gut healing. Like when I'm working with my clients, one of the things that I will say is, don't be surprised as we start to address your gut if you start to have overwhelming emotional feelings, or like you might feel anxious, you might feel sad, you might have like bipolar type symptoms. And that's because of that vagus nerve that we talked about. So having the nootropics in this system is going to calm the brain, which is then going to calm the gut as it's going through those changes. If you don't have that, you'll go through what's called a healing crisis, where things get way worse before they get better. So essentially, by having those in the Activate, you're kind of taking those symptoms away, so that you can address those problems in the gut without going through those emotional highs and lows.
Wow, I have never heard that. So all I know, so here's my explanation from someone who did not study, did not go to school, and does not know big words. This morning Activate makes me not slap people. And the other thing I noticed is I can focus. It is almost an immediate, I can feel it within 20 minutes. Once it starts to get in my system, the only way to describe it is this clear, focused energy. Mm-hmm. Whereas, look, I don't know about everybody out there, but when I hit 30, after I had kids, it was every day, 2:00, I want to lay on the sidewalk face down and take a nap. And this just makes me not feel that way. So that was a massive benefit for me. All right, we're going to take a pause from Delilah for a second and grab my friend Mary. Mary, you are muted. Hi, Mary.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
Oh.
So you want to tell us how LIVology has impacted you?
Absolutely. So I have systemic lupus, osteoporosis, neuropathy, and Raynaud's. So I got plowed with this about 10 years ago, and I have been in absolute survival mode. I haven't been able to work out of the house, so I've been continuing with my volunteer work, and I work in rape victim advocacy and human trafficking advocacy work. And I've done custody battles and those sorts of things. So all you have to react. I haven't been able to work in a regular, 9 to 5 job because I haven't been reliable. My health has just been toast. So the react mode, the Zoom mode, and then I would crash. Since I started on the LIVology pack just a month ago, I don't have the crash. I have not been crashing. I have continued to have energy through the afternoons. I am getting the proper rest because I'm not in so much pain. The inflammation has decreased. I can't even tell you, I can't wait to go get my labs next week. But the inflammation is gone. The anxiety is gone because I don't have all the inflammation and pain. The lupus itself is settling down. I am ecstatic. And so I'm looking forward to not just being in survival mode, but actually living. My kids have said, "Who is this woman?" Correct.
That's amazing.
So,
I want to be really clear because we need to be compliant. We do not claim to cure or treat any disease, but people often come to me and say, Melissa, I have, and then enter whatever medical condition. Should I take LIVology? And my answer is, whether you have, enter whatever medical condition, or you don't, does it sound like a good idea to make sure that you have optimum gut health? And if you understand gut health, the answer is obviously yes. So this is what I meant by in the beginning by we hear lots of different testimonies. So we're not claiming to treat or cure anything, but Mary, thank you so much for your testimony. I'm so glad to hear you're feeling better. That's an amazing story. And I'm grateful you took some time today to come talk to us.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, Delilah. Next product is Cleanse.
Okay.
So
now I don't want to say
we named it Cleanse because we wanted to keep it simple, but I think that some people think Cleanse is like, if I take this pill, I'm going to need some private time tomorrow. And that's not necessarily, that's not really what this component does.
No, I'm going to try to say it not so like Delilah-ish. No, and that's the thing, like it's definitely cleansing, but it's a gentle cleanse. And what it's doing is when we say cleanse, it's supporting the digestive system. It's got herbs in there like, it's got cranberry fruit powder. It's got marshmallow in there, not marshmallow like you think with s'mores, but actually the herb. And so as a probiotic, prebiotic type cleanse, all it's going to do is really support your digestive system to flourish positive bacteria that we want in there to create balance in the microbiome. It's going to kind of calm things down and help like soothe and just make it easier to go through any type of digestive detox.
All right. I personally have IBS and have suffered my entire life. And again, we're not saying we treat or cure anything, but I'm just going to tell you, I have been taking LIVology Max, the entire system, every single month, every single day for, 2 years. This is the only 2 years of my 43 years I have not been in regular biweekly problem. We're not going to go into detail. Nobody needs to hear about that. But it's just been for anybody who suffers in that way with those type of colon issues. It has been a miracle for me. Like everybody's like, oh, you talk about poop all the time. Well, poop has been a major topic in my life for my entire life. So it's not unusual to me. It's always been a problem. But I do notice if I were to skip a day of cleanse, I notice it. So it's important to me. All right, I'm going to grab my friend Crystal. Hi, Crystal.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Thanks for coming and talking to us. So you want to tell us what your experience has been with LIVology?
Yeah, I started this past February. I am a nurse. When the pandemic hit, our unit got picked to be the COVID unit. So, unbeknownst to us, that's been our life for the past 2 years. Very stressful, and I found that every time I ate, I looked 5 months pregnant. Didn't matter. It could have been fruit. It could have been a tenderloin. It was very uncomfortable. And I was just tired of it. I was tired all the time. Nothing was working. And so I started LIVology Max, and it's been a complete game changer. I have focus, energy. I'm not bloated all the time, as a side effect of probably inflammation going down and everything working the way that it should. I lost 8 pounds and have been able to maintain that. I'm calmer at work. Staffing isn't afraid of me as much when they call the unit. So yeah, it's definitely something I'm not willing to give up.
Yes, I'm glad you said that. Someone made a comment the other day and said, "Yeah, but when are you going to stop taking these?" And my personal answer to that question is never, because I've never
No.
found something that works, and it's not a weight loss system for me.
Yeah.
It makes me feel better. So she was asking that in relation to someone was saying they were running low and they were feeling like, oh, I don't want to run out of this stuff. And
Right.
are you like in a question like, are you addicted to it? No, I'm not addicted to it, but I do like feeling better. I like sleeping at night. I like being able to eat a sandwich and then not need to lay on the couch and look like I'm 3 months pregnant. So no, I'm not addicted to it. But here's the thing, and I hope that this helps people understand. If you spent the next 30 days eating really clean, drinking half your body weight in water, and exercising 4 days a week, you would feel good. And then if you did a quick switch and you started eating pizza and fried chicken every day, 3 times a day, you would feel bad. Does that mean you're addicted to eating healthy and exercising and drinking water? I don't think so. It just means that your body feels better that way. So I think that's a good answer to that kind of a question. No, I'm not addicted to LIVology, but I'm also not willing to not take it because I feel better. And I'm glad you said that about the bloating thing, because I had the same experience. No matter what I ate, it was like, I need the stretchy pants because I know we're going out to dinner and afterwards it's gonna hurt.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't quit taking multivitamin.
Yeah. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
All right, Delilah, we have 2 more products. The second to last one is sleep. So ashwagandha, melatonin. So can you tell us why sleep is important? And I think a lot of people get concerned because it's called sleep and they're like, am I going to be able to wake up for my babies? Like, it's not a sleeping pill.
Yeah, no, not. It's actually one of my favorites. It's got adaptogens. So things like ashwagandha, which I absolutely love. If you don't know what adaptogens are, the real quick version is that they go into your body and read the signals that your body is putting out and adapt to what you need. So if you are someone who doesn't sleep well at night, it's going to go in and it's going to have a calming effect. Or if you're someone who needs energy in the morning, by taking that, it's going to help you wake up energized. So it kind of knows what you need. So you're not it's not like a sleeping pill where it just goes in and cuts off receptors and knocks you out. It's nothing like that. But in addition to the really good sleep that you get, because your body heals when you sleep. So if you're not getting high quality sleep, your body can't function and do all the things it's meant to do on the day to day. In addition to that, there's ingredients in there. Again, we go back to those mushrooms, to those medicinal mushrooms, like reishi mushrooms is one that's in there. And why that's important as part of the gut system. And I can't help but go a little bit, just a little sciencey, just a little bit.
Do it.
It's so important here. Those mushrooms are going to reduce bacteria in your gut that creates endotoxins. And those endotoxins actually damage your DNA on a cellular level. So by taking those mushrooms at night, daily, every day, it's going to reduce the amount of the bacteria and prevent your body from being able to create DNA damaging endotoxins. And that's really important. And it's why it's part of a gut detox system, because not only are we trying to get stuff out, we're trying to strengthen our body to prevent these things from happening in the future. And that goes in alignment with what you said, Melissa, why it's important that this isn't a quick fix. This isn't like a 30-day weight loss, or 30-day jumpstart your health. You really want to continue with products like this, any great products that you find, because we need them in today's world.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I think I resisted that for a long time too, because I'm like, I'm not a big fan of taking pills. I'll just be honest. I don't like to do it. My whole life, I've had that problem. And so I'm like, do I do this forever? Well, yeah. Yeah. Because I want to feel good. I'm also going to brush my teeth every morning. Like, I'm just going to do that.
Right.
And I highly recommend that. We don't sell toothpaste, but I do highly recommend that you brush your teeth every day. And there's just some things for our health that are important that we should do on a regular basis. All right, let me grab one more person for a testimony here. I've got Laura Bryan. Laura, you are muted. There we go. Hi, Laura.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good. So you want to tell us how LIVology has impacted you?
Yeah, sure. So actually, funny thing, I didn't start taking all of the products until February-ish. I started on Activate because I was looking at the vitamin B that's methylated. I've got thyroid autoimmune, so that was real important to me. And I didn't start taking it until my daughter started taking the sleep and was like, oh my gosh, I slept so good. So then I was like, all right, I'll add all of them. So, I mean, since I've started all of them, much more energy. I can focus. I'm not super angry all the time with my kids. And yes, I'm a dental hygienist, so please brush your teeth. But
I knew that was good advice.
Yeah, very good advice. So I mean, it's allowed me to work throughout the day without hitting that slump with my patients. So.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for coming and sharing with us, Laura.
Thank you.
So our final product in this line that everybody loves to talk about. I'm a big fan of talking about poop. So if you don't like talking about poop, you better get out of here right now. Now's the time to end your session with us because we're going to talk about poop. Is detox tea. So it comes in a little sachet like this. It's not like a tea bag. It's like a powdered mix. I put it in hot steeped water. I always recommend to people to start out a couple days in a row. And then I don't know if this is right or wrong or not. I'm going to get in trouble with Delilah, but I take it 2 to 3 nights a week. And for me, that has kept me with what I need with my body. I think, is it possible that like everybody's body is a little bit different and you have to figure it out? The one thing I want to say about this is if you are in our info group, you have seen many conversations. We talk about the tea a lot, and there's a lot of memes and a lot of jokes because frankly, poop is funny. But it scares people sometimes. And I will tell you from someone with IBS, the first time I took the tea, I definitely had a full 20-minute conversation with Jesus, like a full one. I mean, I was like, this is where it ends, right here on this toilet in Florida. I'll never forget it. It was really a monumental moment. So, but I will tell you from experience now that I've been taking it for 2 years, something definitely happens the next day, but I've never seen him since. So it's not been like this horrible. The first couple times was impactful, but I'm grateful that I stayed consistent. Staying consistent for that first month then got me to a place where now it's just a moment in my day and not monumental in my day. Is that the way to say it? So tell us what about detox tea.
Well, 2 things. One, I'm going to talk about why it's important real quick and why you should start with it because, and like you said, you have this in the beginning and then as you go, you don't have that anymore. And the reason why is the best analogy I can give you is if you take a sponge and it's a soaking wet sponge and you try to add more water to it, it's already a wet sponge. But when you wring out that sponge, now that sponge can absorb and uptake. And that's what you want to do with your digestive system. We have all these other great products that are part of the detox line, but you really want to take the tea first because it's going to clean you out and you're going to be able to uptake instead of adding a bunch of really good nutrients to a system that's not working well because it's overloaded already with various toxins and miscellaneous debris. So that's why it really is an important part of this system. And then it's only 4 ingredients, which is really impressive And it's because those 4 ingredients are so powerful, and each ingredient does so much. It's got, what I love about it too, it's got senna in there. And if you know senna, some people get scared when they hear that because they think, oh my gosh, that's like it, because that is an FDA approved drug in some cases. But what you have to remember is that we're not using it to clean you out before a colonoscopy, although that's what it's used for. We're using it as an herb, which has been used as for centuries to help cleanse out your system. And what the thing that really caught my attention and how I know these products are formulated properly is because you'll see detox teas out there that are just made with senna and some flavoring. And senna by itself can cause a little bit of stomach upset or some cramping. That's why sometimes you'll hear that there's like maybe some spasming. But we have chamomilla extract in there. Chamomile is the most widely used medicinal tea everywhere on the planet. It's been used for centuries. And what that does is it has a calming effect. It calms spasms. It calms cramps in the intestines. And so by putting that in there with the senna, you just create this gentle tea. In addition, the chamomile is also, if you think about when you're stressed out or maybe you can't sleep, a lot of people will go for chamomile tea. So we go back to that, support your mental health, support your emotions, calm your brain, calm your stomach. So you're going to see those components in all of these products. And that's what I love.
Can you explain one more thing for me? So I say this to people, but I don't say it in a very intelligent way. So I'm looking for the intelligent answer to a question I get often.
Okay.
When someone doesn't want to lose weight and they say, should I still take LIVology Max? My answer is yes, because for it's not a weight loss system, and whether you want to lose weight or not, it just because your gut health or your gut biome is out of whack, that doesn't mean you're overweight. It's not like overweight is not a sign of that. You can be still
here's
within a weight range, right?
No, yeah. I have clients who come to me and they say, my diet's not a concern. I can eat whatever I want. I don't gain weight. Those people who can like eat I'm not one of them. I cannot eat whatever I want. I eat a carb. I know, right? And that's a curse because I'm Italian and I love pasta and pizza, but whatever. When my clients come to me and they say that, they say I can eat whatever I want. Oftentimes they do because they can. And what we find is their guts are usually the most toxic because they don't have to worry about it because they're just kind of consuming all these foods. They have a great metabolism. They don't gain weight, but they have a lot of other issues. So it's not, again, like you said, it's not a weight loss system. You can use it to lose weight if you want to. If you don't have weight to lose, you will not lose weight. But what you're going to lose is that visceral fat that's in there that we want to get rid of. We don't want our organs padded with visceral fat. We don't want our digestive system to be inflamed with inflammatory markers and fat around any of it. So this tea, the system will help with that regardless of weight loss. Weight loss is just a benefit if it's something that you're looking for.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Let's grab one more person and then we are going to say goodbye. So I've got Laura. Laura, you are muted. You just hit the unmute button there so we can talk to you. I wonder if I can unmute you.
There I am. Sorry, guys.
There you are. You're here. Hi, Laura. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. You want to tell us about your LIVology experience?
Yes, I actually have was introduced to Lab back in January and was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is just like everything else that's out there. So I actually followed Lab for about 2 months. And at the beginning of March, I was like, I got to do this. I have had health issues for 10 years. Like Nikki, I had a hysterectomy back in August. And when I had that, I was like, yes, I feel amazing. And then I was like, something's just still not right. I felt sluggish all the time. I just didn't have that energy that I knew I should have. So I bought the bundle and I started the bundle. And I shared in the info group some sleep issues I was having. I was having like reoccurring dreams for the last year to where when I woke up, I was so stressed. It was like I ran a marathon at night and woke up exhausted because I wasn't sleeping. The sleep that I'm getting now and the clear mind that I have just from that sleep, the energy that I'm getting from that sleep, it's like heaven sent.
Yeah.
And and that's what I tell everybody. It's not, I'm getting into clothes that I haven't been able to get into, but that isn't why I started this. It was to feel better and to have a healthier way of living.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well,
And
thanks for coming.
that was why I did it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming and talking to us, Laura. We appreciate your time. All right. So we're going to close this out with a little bit of information. I think it's really important. I'm going to say it again. We've said it multiple times in this call. This is not a weight loss system. I have been entrenched in diet culture for a long time, and I'm not a fan of being a part of that. We do share before and afters because, I struggle with that still because it's not a diet system. It just is a side effect that a lot of people have, and they get excited about it, and there's an emotional response associated with that. I don't know about you, but when I lose 10 pounds, I want to tell everybody. Because it's not easy for me ever since I hit 30, and at 30 was 14 years ago. So, wow, that was alarming. Okay, let me just sit with that for a minute. What? 30 was 14 years ago.
You're not 44.
Oh, 13 years ago. Okay, we're fine. We're having a moment. Okay, sorry guys. Here's the deal. If you want to try the LIVology Max bundle, can't believe I'm that old. If you want to try the LIVology Max bundle, it is 20% off today. We do not do this very often. This will not happen again this month. I can guarantee that. It ends tonight at midnight Central Time. So you either need to get back to the person whose profile you're watching this on, or the person you know at lab. If you're watching on their profile, very likely their link to shop is up in the comments of this live. So you can just click on that link. You click shop now. If you are a new customer, the discount will come off at checkout. When you get there, you will see it. If you are a recurring customer, if you've ordered something else from lab before and you log in to go place your order, you're going to notice that there's a separate sale SKU for you. So you'll see them right at the top. So I hope that helps. Delilah, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate you. Have fun with your dyeing of Easter eggs, I think is what you're going to do.
Yes.
And you're partying over there. Delilah has 14 or 12 or 22 children. So she's busy and she's going to go color some Easter eggs. Thanks, Delilah. I appreciate you.
Bye.